Hey everyone, welcome back to Psych Nurse 101. Today we're going to be delving into my student nurse journey. We'll be going back a good 11 years. So we'll be covering my first, second and third year experiences. Hope you enjoy. Hey everyone. In my first year, I was largely an observer. I found myself doing tasks like personal care, vital signs, note-taking. This stage was about learning the ropes and laying a solid foundation to my nursing skills, building my concentration, being attentive to handovers, that sort of thing. Nursing skills because I'd come from a healthcare assistant background and I didn't really want to just be doing. I wanted just to really build my understanding. Okay, so what do these vitals mean? Okay, just that. Moving on to my second year, things took a turn. I was actively more involved with my patients now. So I was doing things like visual observations of patients, so seeing where they are and assessing their behavior. So are they talking to themselves? Are they relaxed? Do they look agitated? That sort of thing. I was engaging in activity with the patient. So that could be maybe I'm playing a game, or maybe I'm assisting with the occupational therapies with whatever activities they've got going on. Could be art therapy, could be healthy eating, that sort of thing. And I found the more I did that, I built the confidence to now have conversations with the patients. And sometimes the patients will start to talk and it may get a little bit deeper. And so I'm having these somewhat deep conversations. So when I'm doing this, I actually realized, oh, I'm developing a rapport with them. And so that it really enhanced my learning experience. So I was doing things like visual observations of patients, so seeing where they are and assessing their behavior. So are they talking to themselves? Are they relaxed? Do they look agitated? That sort of thing. I was engaging in activity with the patient. So that could be maybe I'm playing a game, or maybe I'm assisting with the occupational therapies with whatever activities they've got going on. Could be art therapy, could be healthy eating, that sort of thing. And I found the more I did that, I built the confidence to now have conversations with the patients. And sometimes the patients will start to talk and it may get a little bit deeper. And so I'm having these somewhat deep conversations. So when I'm doing this, I actually realized, oh, I'm developing a rapport with them. And so that it really enhanced my learning experience. Like I remember I was now having conversations of discussing restrictions and their conditions. But mind you, all of these things that I did it under the supervision, and I didn't go beyond what I was comfortable. Like that was just a boundary I couldn't cross, because I didn't want to, again, implicate myself because I'm learning. So really and truly at this stage, I was essentially building up from my first year experience. So just moving beyond that sort of surface level to truly understand their situations and their assessment, like their presentations, and why the nursing staff may have incorporated certain management techniques, like just understanding the why. Like it was all starting to make sense. It's like, okay. For instance, like you could understand like, okay, this person is on a 1-to-1 arm's length for eyesight observation because of blah blah blah. Maybe they've got self-harming, maybe there's it's to do with their physical health. It could be something like that. Or this person is on this medication because they need support sleeping, or this person needs this PRN because they need something to help them feel relaxed. Like you just start to understand why they do things. The third year experience, my third year experience, the rising expectations. In my third year, the challenges really amplified with the title of third year student nurse. Came high expectations. I was now expected to demonstrate a much higher level of competence. For me, despite majority of my placements being in a community settings, I just remember like my skills book. Yeah, we had a skills book where we've got like 20 skills that we have to get done, and it could range maybe something like medication management, leadership, wound care, and literally the goal would be like the now qualified student nurse. It's almost like they're manifesting, but literally you go to placement and you say, oh, I'm third year. Oh, so so you know what you're doing now. So that was the vibe essentially. And this was a challenge due to majority of placements being in community setting. So there was a few things I found challenging when I was in inpatient, and I'll get more into that. So in my final year, one of the main challenges I faced was the medication rounds. Unlike my first year placements, I was dealing with the elderly cares, people with dementia. Majority of their medications were physical health related, so their diabetes, their Parkinson's, those sorts of things. And my second year placement was in CAMS, and majority of those patients didn't have anything on their drug charts. It was very minimal. So I found in my first year, I was really introduced to a whole new set of medication on my final placement that I had to just learn. But was to already have been expected, like, to know what it was. This created a daunting gap in my knowledge. I recall being on placement and there being at least 3 people on medication in my CAMS. Yeah, this is my second year. And then the rest of the 12 blank charts were blank. So now in my third year, I was suddenly confronted with agitated patients. So I'm learning the medications, like what to give, what rapid tranq is. This is all in my third year. And don't get me wrong, I would have learned the theory, but it's different when you're learning in placement and actually applying all those theory that you learned maybe a year or in the classrooms to real life. And I'm one of those people, I learn through taking part, because once I've taken part, I don't know, I've solidified it in my memory. Yeah, that's how I work. So I'm there learning antidepressants, I'm there learning more about the antipsychotics, the benzos, the different types, like actually learning in placement, really getting a proper experience. Got really serious there. And I think why I'm passionate about this was that I found there was a stark contrast between the patients in the community and the patients in hospital. The ones in the community were somewhat deemed to be stable because they're in the community. Whereas the ones in hospital were more acutely mentally unwell, and so it wouldn't be safe for themselves or others to be outside in the community, so they need that extra support in the hospital to get back to the community, just to become stable, essentially. For me, the sudden shift from having majority community placements, like 9 and 3 inpatient, one being that it involved learning majority of the mental health medications, it was quite frustrating because now I felt unprepared, and I started raising questions about this particular placement strategy and its impact on my overall learning experience. Despite the hurdles I encountered, I didn't give up. I adapted quickly, learning and practicing effectively on the go. It was a challenging experience, but I see it as my growth as a nurse. One particularly difficult situation that occurred was I had a situation, a disagreement with the ward manager, and boy, it happened during placement. I'll be honest, I didn't like how she spoke to me. It was very rude. I have to even discuss this in a separate video. But yeah. However, even in the face of adversity, I persevered. So every step of this journey, every up and down has been an enriching learning experience. It taught me to adapt and to grow in unexpected ways, and that's made me the nurse who I am today. By sharing my journey, I hope to help future student nurses prepare for their own experiences. So every step, every stumble, every triumph has shaped me as a nurse. So my journey wasn't easy, but it was an important part of my growth. And so I hope by sharing my experiences, I'm able to shed light on the realities of what might happen in nursing school and help others preparing to embark on this path, especially in psych nursing. Like, it can be really challenging, but nursing as a whole is just a challenging experience. So thank you for joining me today on Psych Nurse 101. Let's continue to learn. Let's continue to grow. Like, comment, share. I'm curious. I want to know, like, in the comments, like, what are you experiencing? Like, let me know. Was this content valuable? Keep me posted. Take care.